That would be insane, wouldn't it? And that was not a brilliant engagement there for Hero. Of course, now he's got regained control. Oh, he lost the Oracle! What?
Ouch. Ouch. That is so painful to lose that Oracle. He really didn't get much damage done that time.
No, he didn't.
You can definitely see the difference between Hero Oracles and Zest Oracles. Hero is much more of a robo player, and
yeah.
You know what? He's going to be regretting that he went Oracle, I think, because when you think about it, Stargate Tech not going to be too good against Siege Tank Marine Raven.
Siege tanks are being built against Protoss, Artosis. This is happening.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, this series is going to have it all. No doubt about that. Making a Viking now, continuing that Siege Tank production, a bunch of Marines as well. I expect that we're going to see him push out and put some pressure on his opponent, but Hero is rushing up to Colossus, which is a perfect counter to Marine Siege Tank.
Yeah, that's true. And one of course, the main reasons why you don't see a lot of Marine Siege Tank in this particular matchup. There's certainly a few ways to deal with it. It's not maybe the ideal unit. Of course, now he's going to see it. He's going to say, you what? You built that? All right, okay, well, I guess I better fall back. But this is a powerful push coming out of Flash. And there are 3 Phoenixes, a Mothership Core, and a Stalker. That's it.
Yeah, you know what? With point defense drone, most of that isn't even going to be able to fire.
Yeah, but once the photon overcharge goes down, what's it going to do? It's going to do nothing. It's just going to be deflected by the PDD.
That's kind of crazy. Is he just going to walk in and snipe the Nexus or something? I'm not even sure. I haven't seen something like this in a very long time.
And why haven't we? Like, if photon overcharge is so powerful, and yet there is a counter to it, why do we not usually see this? It's got a bunker contained at the bottom of the ramp.
I don't know. Maybe Hero will show us why we don't normally see it, or maybe Flash will just kill him, and then we will start to see it a lot. Definitely one of those two is about to happen.
Oh, one Stalker just goes down there. The PDD hasn't been deployed yet. I don't know. I simultaneously kind of like the Flash, the fact that Flash is holding on that PDD, but simultaneously I'm thinking, well, that would be so good against that Nexus cannon.
Yeah, you would think so.
Where are these Phoenixes? There's 5 Phoenixes on the map. Oh, they're going to get a tank on the way out. All right, so he's cutting off the reinforcements here with Phoenixes.
That's a really big deal. In fact, he's going to kill these SCVs that are going over to help out. This is supposed to be like an entrenched push onto the natural, but catching a siege tank in those 2 SCVs, I feel like it's already been completely neutered.
I love that move. Like, and it's such a dicey one, too, because you think, oh, well, what if Flash just goes up the ramp? And Phoenixes aren't really going to help much there, but he was able to prevent the reinforcements. He identified what this was and how to, like you say, kind of neuter it. There are still 2 tanks, so that's a bit scary, but there's a Void Ray coming in, there's an Immortal coming in, and I think we are about to see why this doesn't happen. He's going for it. He's going to actually engage here. The Zealot's coming around the side. The tank is still firing away, but it gets lifted. The Phoenixes come from behind. He lifts one tank and the second one. He gets the cleanup, and I guess that is why we don't see this push.
I guess so. That really didn't end up working out for him at all, but I gotta say, those Phoenixes were real MVPs here, picking off the Siege Tank, picking off those extra CVs.
They're gonna get a second Viking. Holy sh! This is Hero.
This is a huge lead for Hero right now.
The fact that he managed to do that after a failed Oracle start, that is incredible. Hero's playing out of his mind at the moment. We've got to give him credit for that. Brilliant break of the contain. Excellent cutoff of the reinforcements. Just such awareness to make that happen. He gets another Viking out as well. This is brilliant. I mean, this is a really weird kind of version of what Jim usually does, the whole Phoenix Colossus idea. But Hero takes it to the next level by saying, you know what's really good? Colossus when you have no Vikings. You know what I'm going to do with these Phoenixes? I'm going to kill all the Vikings before they even get anywhere near. It's brilliant.
You know, that is a very good point right there. If he has not enough Vikings to deal with all of this, he'll never stop a Colossus push.
No.
The thing is, he's on 2 bases here, so he can't even afford a second starport. This is bad news for Flash. I don't know if he can pull out of this one.
Yeah, I don't think so. Hero he dealt with that beautifully. Imagine if there were more SCVs and there were like 4 siege tanks in that push instead of the 2. I think that would have been an entirely different story. Hero would have had a lot of trouble breaking it, but his decision-making was perfect. He did the exact right thing in that situation. Now Hero is way ahead.
Well, Hero, he's going to have to really stumble to lose this one. What is Flash's plan going to be? He is adding another command center. He's continuing Siege Tank production, which is the most interesting piece. And you know what? Siege Tank plus Viking together eliminates Colossus very quickly.
I'd imagine it would. It's really, really hard. But what happens if your Siege Tanks get killed in the main?
Oh, man. These Phoenixes have just done everything this game.
These guys are the MVPs of this game. It's just unbelievable. You generally do not see Phoenixes killing like 3, 4, 5 tanks, and they are. The control's been amazing. He's finding the holes in Flash's defense, and he is picking up everything. He even delays the third. This is brilliant play from Hero. Absolutely exquisite.
In fact, he's starting to move out right now. That's how exquisite it is. I think he realizes that he may be able to just move this stuff and end up killing Flash. Flash's army is really small, kind of pathetic for this late into the game, especially when the Phoenixes can swoop in and pick up your most important units.
And the tech... he's almost got every unit that exists for Protoss here. Like, he had a couple of Templar, he's got, like, a random Immortal, and a random Void Ray, and a bunch of other stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna play... he's playing Nexus Wars here, I think, actually. He's building a bit of everything, because it's impossible to counter everything. And here he goes, he's gonna prove that right now. The Immortals tank, all the Siege tank shots, double lift, coming in down the bottom. GG. Hero is in this.
All right, good thing to see. I really was hoping this would not end up a 4-0 or something crazy like that, as much as all the Flash fans, I'm sure, would like to see it. Much better to see him try a very different build, something we really never see, and who knows if we'll ever see again.
Probably not after that, because he just got it torn to pieces. That was pretty brutal. Apparently, that is the counter. It's kind of weird, I suppose, that he wasn't expecting Phoenix, considering he knew that there was a Stargate behind it, but maybe he just expected, after Hero had had a look at it, that Hero would just do nothing but build ground units to hold at his natural, and that's not what Hero did. Hero actually went for a very small amount of ground units and said, the key to defeating this, considering it's a very slow push, is to cut off the reinforcements. It's not actually to engage it head-on.
Yeah, he really did whittle it down like that. You know, instead of picking things off at the front of the push, picking them off in the middle, and then crushing, that's like strategically and theoretically the best way to deal with almost anything in StarCraft, and he executed it very, very well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I am really impressed with Hero there. If there was any doubt, there shouldn't have been after game 1, you know. Everyone should have seen that Hero was obviously brilliant, even though he lost that game. But maybe after game 2, maybe people just tuned in, and they said, oh, well, yeah, Hero's going to get smashed. No, he isn't. There's no such thing as Hero getting smashed. That doesn't happen.
No, this is going to be a close one. I think that this is going to go to 6 or 7 games, to be honest. I can't imagine it not. After watching these first 3, these guys are really, really evenly matched.
Yep, they are. I am so impressed. Hero, you are excellent. Both of these guys are obviously excellent. That's why they're in the finals of one of the, well, the most stacked online invitational. Let's just call it what it is. The most stacked online invitational to have ever existed, and it is delivering in every way. These guys are amazing, and they're really showing their skills off here.
That they are. The next map going to be Merry-Go-Round. This one should favor Flash a bit. I'm interested to see what Hero will do to counteract that, because taking the third base can be so difficult. But overall, I like Flash's chances to perhaps go up 3-1 now.
That would be good, certainly. Hero's put one on the board, so he started the kind of reverse momentum. He's looking to try and equalize and really start to push this forward. But you are right. Merry-Go-Round, I even actually heard the Protoss couch. I'm not sure if you got to see the Protoss couch at Home Story Cup. It was 5 Protoss players, and they were pretty much all complaining about Merry-Go-Round. So I think the consensus is this is not a brilliant map for Protoss against Terran.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, man. I have the hardest time in the whole world here trying to get that third base up and not die to an attack in my main or drops, you know, like, it's a tough one, and I think that we will see that reflected in Hero's build order. I think he'll choose something that doesn't rely necessarily on him taking a quick and easy third.
Yeah, what will he come up with? Let's find out. To the northwest position, though, the man who is still up 2 maps to 1. He suffers his first defeat in this series, admittedly after trying something a little bit unorthodox. It doesn't work out, but he's still ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue trunks, playing Terran, KT Rolster's Flash.
And his opponent down at 6 o'clock, showing that he still has what it takes to take this grand finals. It is CJ Entis Hero.
He does, absolutely. But what does he do here? Well, so far, he has built nothing, but he is on 11 supplies, so that is to be expected. Does he break out some kind of cheese here? It's kind of risky. Because, of course, he doesn't want to go down 3-1. That would be an awful position to be in, even though he has won in it before. But it's simultaneously, at least an aggressive, maybe 2-base build might be the best way to pull this off against a Terran player.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. I'm feeling if he goes for a 2-base all-in, should be good. Like, he could go for something like a huge charge lot, Archon type of build. He could go for a 2-base Colossus all-in. Those are the two that I'm really looking towards for Hero here to try to steal a win on this map.
Yeah, and it almost is stealing, isn't it? And when you look at the way that the thirds are set up here, there's so much potential for Terran just to do horrible things to you.
Oh yeah, those bases, man, are so hard to hold. There's so much surface area on them, and you know, if you have your whole army out there to stop that surface area from abusing you, well, there's this thing called the medevac. It's gonna drop right into your main. You
get dropped. The map designer was generous by putting these force fields into the air here. It's kind of needed considering the shape of the map, but that's not generous enough. Medevacs still get in there. Banshees still get in there. It can be pretty nasty one way or the other. So, yeah, I would be surprised to see a third base go up. Admittedly, it would be the last thing Flash would expect.
Maybe he could go hide it in another main like Flash did to him in Game 1. Who knows? But, you know, Terran being the mobile aggressor in the matchup, again, it's going to be really, really tough on him. So, Flash probably going to want to open up very normally. I think we'll see probably his quick eBay, you know, get his +1 going, get a good amount of units out, a third command center, and just be very careful on the lookout for all-ins.
Yeah, I think so, and that's why he went with this very standard Reaper opening 12-12 into the reactor, into the expand. You know, it's safe, it gives you information. His trusty eBay is on its way. That will be finished fairly soon. And
the Reaper, not too much intel, but there's really not that much intel to gather right now. Flash is aware of that. And if he can get in and spot what's going on, that's going to be fantastic. Otherwise, he's going to have to play very carefully because, you know, there could be like a blink all-in, but no, going to be a Robo.
Robo. All right, fair enough. We'll see what comes out of that. It could be that 2-base Colossus you were talking about there, but it's also pretty safe. It means an early observer. Could be Warp Prism, but, you know, you're going to have to back that up with some gates, and usually you'd maybe throw some DTs in there to make something work. So it just seems like it's fairly standard for the moment here from Hero. And like you said, Flash didn't get a lot of information, but there wasn't much to get. It would have been nice maybe if you'd seen that pylon location just so he can always be aware that it's there, just for the potential of a scan later, because it's going to be used for something. It's nice to know where to land your scan because you know where that pylon is, but yeah, it was denied anyway, so and that happens often, so it's not like Flash can be blamed for that.
Oh, certainly, and he knows how to act in situations like this where he doesn't have that full intel. We do have a Forge coming up for Hero. Just one Forge, we have to know, because we've seen a lot of double Forge play throughout this tournament. Now, that one Forge could just be for some... Oh, wait, he canceled it! He canceled the Forge! That's huge! Oh my god, canceling that Forge, like, could anything smell of an all-in more than canceling a Forge?
A Forge, yeah, you just don't do that unless you intend to attack. There's an Immortal on the way here. Will we see Colossus, or will he actually attempt something with Gateway and Immortal?
Maybe. Immortal pushes are good.
There it is, never mind.
Terran.
There's the Robo Bay.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a bit weird against Terran. You know, do it against Zerg, absolutely, but Terran...
You're going to proxy the Robo generally if you do an Immortal all-in. Yeah, got to get them there real fast before they have their stim done. But in this case, yeah, he is going up into that Colossus tech, and looks like he's going to get Blink with it.
Yep, very, very Zest-esque. If he then builds 2 Forges after this, then... I don't know, I'm just going to leave, I think, for a while. It's just, I'm just like, no, what are you even thinking? But no, he's actually going up to 2 Immortals, which is a quite surprising number. But of course, it's nice to knock down those Marauders pretty quickly.
That really is going to give his army a lot more staying power with or without the Colossus. But that plus no Forges, like this is going to be a hard-hitting attack. Will Flash actually be able to hold on against it?
Well, so far Flash doesn't really have the army to do so. He is building up a significant marine count, but that factory is pretty damn late, isn't it? The starport's only just really begun, so he doesn't even have medevac production here. He's going for his good old +1 with Stim, but is he going to get anything done with it? It's a fairly wide ramp. The Reaper comes up to try and give vision. The Sentry is slightly out of position. It looks like he'll just try and fight with the Photon Overcharge. And we'll see just how good those force fields are. Another one got warped in. There's the time warp. The Mothership core goes... No, it actually doesn't.
Oh, wow.
What?
Somehow it lives.
How did that happen?
Flash gets out as well. That could have gone so much worse for either side there.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of surprising.
A
lot of
standoff.
energy used up for Protoss. But of course, some damage taken from Flash. The fact that Flash saw 2 Immortals is gonna kind of give him a siren in his head. He's already starting the bunkers.
Yeah, he knows something's on the way, but Colossus and Immortal tend to crack bunkers pretty quickly. There's the 5-gate follow-up to that. I tell you, that's what that pylon's being used for. Over to the side there. And this Marine is going to see the Colossus as well. Now he knows something's really up. Oh, you've got a Colossus and 2 Immortals. You didn't just build these for window dressing, Hero. I know what's coming.
And he actually adds 2 Forges, which is blowing my mind.
Sick.
Maybe he's like, oh, I've gotten too scouted. I'll go poke with this, but I can't kill him. He's seen too much. So throwing up those 2 Forges is going to be his way to transition when this doesn't kill Flash.
Well, works for Zest. It could very well work for him as well. It's not a massive investment. It's certainly a possibility. Admittedly, the upgrades are heavily in favor of Flash at the moment. He's 1-1 versus 0-0. Not that makes a massive difference against what Hero has, but that's a really small army, and I think Hero's kind of realizing that I'm not going to break that. But Flash just pulled all of his SCVs. You see that?
Well, he's taking it serious, man. You see a Colossus coming and 2 Immortals. That can break almost anything, so just choosing to play really safely here. In the meantime, Hero gonna start his 3rd Nexus. It's about halfway done, getting his upgrades going as well, and even making a Dark Shrine.
Okay. It's nice to throw that into the mix, and of course, with a Robo-Up, he could maybe consider Warp Prism. Flash is still kind of locked in on 2 bases, yeah? He has a kind of scary army. He's now, I think, realizes that he can't really be attacked, and he's now taken his 3rd here, too. So, actually, because he had the 3rd already prepared, he ends up being economically ahead with the Mules there. Will Flash attempt to move out? Does he have the kind of army he needs to do it? I think his Viking count is low enough that he might not risk anything more than a sort of probing poke at maybe he attacks the 3rd base, but it does seem a bit risky.
Well, I guess he could do a big spread and try to get something done, but he only has 2 medevacs, which gets me a little bit nervous about this. I really like a lot of medevacs on this map, so you can pick up and punish that main base when they're defending the 3rd, but with just 2, he can't really pull off too many shenanigans here. I think the most he can do at the moment is some pressure.
No, Flash even saving that Marine in the center, he has no intention. When he can use that APM to save it, absolutely, why not? Pylon going up over to the side here. So we're starting to see some interesting positioning for run-bys. There's one over here, there's one over here. This 3rd base is, of course, an orbital, so it's potentially very vulnerable. Flash is posturing around the 3rd base because he knows those run-bys are a real possibility.
And you know what? The more I look at this Totalbiscuit, this has to be a timing attack. There's just no way that he's not going to pull SCVs in this game. That 3rd base, it's wide open. You know, it's kind of late for Hero. He put a lot of money into getting those Immortals out. I think it's a great choice by Flash. He's producing a ridiculous amount of Vikings, but just skipping medevacs. He's just going to try to give the haymaker here, the knockout punch with 1 attack. He's not even bothering to try and harass.
Yep, and Flash is holding on to 2 scans worth of energy here. The DTs are kind of lurking around, and they will be able to backstab. But yeah, I do think you're right. Like, with the low medevac count, he just wants to try and kill him. Here come the boys, man. They're off. And I think Hero has to give that 3rd base up, honestly. I don't see him being able to fight there.
I'd be very surprised if he could hold this 3rd base. Very surprised indeed. Flash is up by 12 supply. He has a ton of Vikings, 10 Vikings right now. So this will be a tough one. But Flash actually going around in 2 pieces.
That's never good, but there weren't... Oh, there's a time warp that kind of comes it up, but it doesn't matter. The force is now together, and I think, obviously, that third base is going to go down. He wants to try and inflict maximum casualties, pull him back through. That's a lot of Guardian Shields that were deployed there. Crazy number, actually. The DTs did go into the natural. The fight is going to happen. That is overstimming, I think, maybe from Flash. That could be risky, but there are only 2 Colossus remaining. Hero's army is melting away here. Maybe his decision to try and hold the third was not the right thing to do, but the amount of economic damage that Hero has done with his DTs is significant. He's killed 21 workers, pretty much gutted the natural and the third base.
Well, that's actually a big deal. Flash can't really go home and mine too easily, but then again, Hero's still on only 2 bases. Flash looks like he may not end up breaking him here. Look at this. Hero's picking off a lot of units.
Lovely blink there, right on top of the SCVs. No, it's like, hey, I've done economic damage. Let's put another nail in that coffin. It's now 27 SCVs to 46. The third is always a lie when it comes to the Protoss, man. It's been said time and again. It's a lie. Don't fall for it. Don't fight around it. It's not used for mining. It's used to bait the Terran player into a horrible situation. And strangely enough, Hero has managed to make that happen. He now has a huge supply lead. The DT backstab was massive. This is some very, very weak bio from Flash.
Really weak. He does not have enough medevacs to heal this quickly enough. And it looks like Hero's going to poke in with these Stalkers, see what he can get done, see the state of Flash's base. You know, it's a good thing not all those SCVs died with his attack because of the DTs. He still has some economy, but overall, Hero doing better right now.
It's pretty rough. Hero does want to watch out, though. The Zealots do get in there. The blink back and the Colossus coming in from the back here. But nice stutter step here from Flash. He gets into a really nice position to force this back. And I don't know if Hero had to engage this. And Flash is looking to try and come back into this. He's pushing aggressively down his ramp.
Oh, but still too much damage. And GG. The series gets tied up 2-2.
Oh, maybe he did overpush very slightly there, but I don't know. He was holding pretty well there, but with the amount of economic damage that was done, I guess even though he was holding quite well, what was the follow-up to that with 23 SCVs, you know?
Yeah, that DT counter was actually really good. I was kind of questioning why he went for a Dark Shrine, but it looks like that was exactly the reason, saying, you know what, I can at least keep my army alive, but that means I have to do economic damage to him while he's doing economic damage to me, and it worked out perfectly for Hero. Really well played.
Really well played. He pulled that off a merry-go-round, man, as well, which really is a Terran map, so that is good news, I think, for Hero. That kind of gets one of those maps out of the way that he probably wasn't too comfortable with. And now, of course, we get Outboxer, which is fun in every way, and we see great games on that.
Yeah, certainly. Outboxer going to be a nice map for this very important game, because this game gives match point.
Yeah, it does.
Like, no matter what, who wins this only needs one more win. So a great map to go into for that. And should be another great game. Tied up 2-2. This couldn't be going better, Totalbiscuit.
Hype, 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 man. We're at 23,000 viewers on the main English stream. We're at 10,000 viewers on the Chinese stream. And if you are South Korean and watching this stream, go to Crank's stream, twitch.tv/Crank. They're at about 1,000 viewers actually as well, which is actually, that's a lot of Koreans for an online tournament on Twitch. I mean, this is not even on a Freaker. Yeah. This is pretty damn good, folks. Everyone wants to see this match, and I don't blame them in any way. We're going to take a short break and remind you just who is responsible for making this happen. Please do show them their support. This is their first dip in the water for esports. We wanted to make it great. It looks like we did just that. So please do thank them on Twitter. They're at Sandisk. And do check out the Sandisk Extreme Pro SSD. Let me tell you why. We'll be back after this break with Game 5. The Grand Finals, Flash versus CJ Hero. Hi, my name's John Bain, and it's my pleasure to thank Sandisk for bringing us top-notch StarCraft 2 entertainment at the Sandisk SHOUTcraft Invitational. When I'm not casting StarCraft 2, it's my job to critique PC games, and to do that, I need the best hardware. One of the best upgrades that you can get for your PC gaming experience is a solid-state drive, so I'd like to encourage you to check out the Sandisk Extreme Pro SSD. It's engineered for super-fast read and write speeds and consistent high performance 24/7. What does that mean for your games? Faster load times, faster boot times, faster install times. Less downtime, more game time. Plus, they're easy to install, run cool, and are both virtually silent and energy efficient. If you're worried about reliability, no need. Sandisk backs it all up with a 10-year warranty. Game without limits when you step up to the consistent high performance of Sandisk Extreme Pro. Alright folks, we've got a series on our hands. Anyone worried about a 4-0? Well, you can rest easy. These guys are going at it in a real way.
Tied up 2-2. This means that it is no longer really a best of 7 here.
No.
This has come down to a best of 3.
Oh no. That's
Oh,
terrible
no!
for Flash. He loses those.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna word it like that again. It's a best of 7, Flash. Stay calm, play your best. Let's see this go to Game 7.
That said, Flash did beat Hero in a best of 3 earlier, so maybe we shouldn't really be too worried about that. Okay, the countdown begins, folks. Outboxer, the Pro League map. The map, of course, that Hero has never beaten Flash on. I'll be damned if I can remember if he actually played him on it, but since Hero has never beaten Flash in Pro League, then one could also assume he's never beaten him on Outboxer either.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Not all squares are rectangles, but all rectangles are squares.
Indeed.
Or the opposite of that, whatever. Anyways, oh my god.
It's the most pseudo